So you saw Indiana Jones, huh?
I did see Indiana Jones.
What you think of Indiana Jones?
I loved it.
You loved it.
Loved it.
Love is a strong word.
Loved it.
It's like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life.
That's what they showed for Indiana Jones. That's what it's about to become. But yes, I really like the movie. Yeah. What did you like about the movie? How about we start there?
I liked it.
You liked it too?
Yeah, I liked it.
I thought it was a really nice
I thought it was okay.
send off, I guess, for the characters.
I thought it was a good send off.
You
There
know?
were certain parts though, like just being a movie person, that got to me. Like in the beginning with the de-aging,
I thought
it was
pretty good.
old Harrison Ford's voice.
Yes. Okay.
with
Yes.
young
I will.
Indiana.
Yes. I will
And
say that
it
they
didn't
obviously.
match.
See you, Joey. I think.
Bye,
they,
Joy.
Careful out in that storm. So I think that they.
It didn't click for me right there.
I do agree with you
You
on
know what
that.
I mean?
You could hear. You could hear Harrison Ford's age in the voice because they did all new lines for him. But again, I don't know, like it was good enough.
It was
you're
good,
correct.
though.
You're correct. Like I
Yeah.
heard that too. I think that it wasn't even the way that he looked this time though. He looked good.
He looked good,
But
as soon as he started talking,
you knew that
I was like, this isn't syncing up for me.
Because-
this isn't syncing up for me.
and I think that there's some
Yeah, but that's just the beginning.
It's
That train scene was really good.
It still was a good scene.
I like
It's
the,
all
um,
action. The movie was so much action.
The Easter egg of the Spear of Destiny.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a fake.
That was supposed to be a movie.
So
That was supposed to be the next movie, The Spear of Destiny.
and on top of it, that's something that Hitler was after in real life.
Yes.
He was
yes.
after all those artifacts in reality.
I like
And then
how,
the fact that, like, well, this is why he didn't win the war and he couldn't become invincible because he never got a hold of the spear because
Yeah.
even the spear that he would have gotten is a fake.
Yeah.
So I thought
Yeah.
that was great. Yeah. I don't know.
I like how he's talking in the class that he's giving at the beginning, and he's going on about the siege of Syracuse.
Syracuse,
Yes.
yeah.
And then,
yeah.
like later on in the movie, that's where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like, I mean, the alien jump from the last movie was a big leap, right? Considering that Raiders of the Lost Ark had a freaking arc open up and Ghost came out and
Yes.
plowed people, but like people were saying the aliens are stretched. But the fact that they went back in time, they went through that Fisher thing,
Yeah.
and they thought that they were. Well, the plan was that the bad guy, he
The
wanted-
Nazi.
Yeah, he wanted to go back in time, so he could kill Hitler. He was a Nazi,
And he could become
and he
Hitler.
could become and do the plan right.
Right,
In other
because
words.
he saw where the plan went wrong, right? So
Yeah.
it's like I'm gonna enact the plan and we're
Yeah.
gonna rule the world.
And they actually
So-
do it, but they come to find out that it's only for that time. Like the machine only
Yes.
works to bring them to that time.
Because the
of
things that they
meeting.
explain it really quickly, like Indiana Jones is like, wait a minute, continental drift. They
Yeah.
didn't know about that.
Yeah,
they probably
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
work
yeah.
that into the
That
equation.
machine was like real. That was like a real thing.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
found.
yeah, it
Like,
was,
It
it was.
wasn't in the condition that they showed it in Indiana Jones, but they found like a machine, like that machine, that
Yeah.
artifact, and it did things that was like 1,000 years out of its time.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
And it was great when they opened the tomb, and you saw the watch and the propeller,
Yeah.
and you had no clue what they were talking about at that point. But then it was the fact that this has always happened.
Yeah. That's
Like it's a
yeah,
constant
cycle.
loop. Like what
Time
Archimedes
cycle.
said, you were supposed to come here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then of course, I don't know. Like I like the idea of like. I like and don't like the idea of like Indiana Jones in a way, he gets to be in the time that he has always explored. So
Yes.
it's like he's supposed to be there too.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but no, like
Yeah.
he's oh yeah.
The fact that he got shot in the chest and he's still going.
He's fine. He's
After
been
the
shot.
whole
He
time,
tells
like,
you he's been
I was
shot
like, you should have at
14
least shot him
times.
in the arm
And
or
the other thing,
something.
part of it was the thing of like, his goddaughter knew. It's like, no, you have to go back because you will die here. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They don't
they're
have
not
the
gonna save you.
antibiotics. They don't
Yeah,
have the.
yeah.
Yeah, we have that. You know, in the '60s.
And
They
it
were
gave
good.
you a moment of like, oh my God, is Indy gonna really
Die.
stay in the past? And
Yeah,
stuff
well,
like
he
that?
could have been the skeleton that they found with the watch
With
and
the
the
watch and
propeller,
everything.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but they
Um,
didn't go that route. It's Archimedes.
What other?
Oh, that
good-
was it. That wasn't even Archimedes. I thought it was the German guy.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah, I thought it was the German guy.
For the
'cause that
watch.
was with the,
It was
that
yeah, because you
his
show
watch.
him putting on the watch, and then
Yeah.
he's all burnt up. He looks down and he sees the guy there.
Yeah.
That was a good scene. She the what was her name? Cliff, do you know her name? The actress.
Oh,
Well,
it's
the
Phoebe
goddaughter?
something?
The one that plays Shaw, Helena.
Yeah.
She was
Phoebe
okay.
something.
She was okay.
Maybe?
I could see where they probably could in the future, after Harrison Ford dies, they do some kind of spin-off with her.
I don't want someone who. We're not gonna build a franchise off of someone who's okay. You know that movie has to end with like, wow, she was fire, for me to go. All right, let's
And
build
it
a
didn't end
franchise.
like that.
No.
Yeah,
I never heard that,
But it's not.
anybody.
But the thing is, it's not her movie.
It's
She was
not.
a supporting actress, a supporting character.
No,
that-
but if she's a supporting character who's supposed to be a legacy character,
well,
right?
she will be a legacy character because
I
she was
know,
in this
but
movie.
like, but you got.
She could
It's gotta be. I hear she does some cool things. I hear there's some good moments for her.
Yeah.
But I don't hear.
Well, they
anyone-
set her up pretty good with a backstory,
Because it's
and
Indy's
she's
friend.
like an
Right,
event.
but they don't. No one I know, not one review I saw online or anything, any commentary on all the social media that I follow. No one said, "Wow, I'd like to see her in some movies." Not at all. I saw a lot of people echoing Steve's sentiments about, "Oh my God, why no Short Round? You could have done that." Blah blah blah.
However, there is a character who's very much like Short Round in the sense that he's a young
Yeah.
kid. They have a young kid. They've got the female, and they've got Indiana Jones, which is in every one of the Indiana Jones movies.
I thought would have been a good way to put Short Round in the movie was that he was coming to see Indy after they brought him back and he was shot in the bed. Like, Indy,
Instead,
I came to see if you were okay.
So
You know what I mean? That would have been a good
I
little
thought it would be cool
slot.
if he was like the doctor to take the bullet
Take the bullet out or
That
something
would've
like
been
that.
cool.
That would have
He
been
was
great.
the
When
doctor.
You know what I
when
mean?
does he see Marion?
At the
At
end.
the
Does
end.
she come to the hospital?
No,
No.
she comes to his house.
Yeah,
Oh, she
what
goes to
happened?
his house. All right.
Well, Helena Shaw knocks out Harrison Ford.
And drags him away.
When they're in the past.
Yeah.
And he's going to die because he's been shot, even though he wouldn't. He said he'd be fine. He was fine.
Yeah. He wants
He'd
to
never
stay.
been shot before, I guess.
Yeah,
But
he-
like Harrison Ford had been shot 14 times, he
Yeah.
tells you so.
He wants
What's
to
one
stay.
more?
She's having an argument with him. She's in between Archimedes and him, and she's like they're speaking to Archimedes in his language, and she's like, "You're a
Italian.
brilliant man, but he can't stay here. He can't stay here." Because Archimedes looks happy, like, "Oh, you want to stay? You
Yeah.
can stay." And she's like, "No, you can't stay here." And Indiana's like, "I'm gonna stay here." She's like, "You know what? No."
She knocks him out.
And boom, knocks him out. And the next scene is Indiana waking up in the bed,
in his apartment.
and she's telling him like, "You have things to live for here. This is your time. You're still needed here." And he just doesn't know why. And then Marion walks in with the kid from the grocery store. And the thing about the story, that's another part. Shia LaBeouf's character is mentioned,
Yes.
and she asks him, "What would you do if you had the thing?"
Yep.
And he was like, "I would go back and tell my son not to enlist." And she would be like, "Why?" "So he wouldn't die."
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
And
he died.
yeah, because when he dies, Marion goes into a state of depression. She blames him, and the line like cut me. Like he was like, and I had nothing. I couldn't help her. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what. So then in the beginning,
And
of the
plus,
movie,
he's
she was
broken
separated.
over it, obviously,
Yeah.
too. That's the whole point.
Yeah, and I was
So-
like, that's a good twist on not having him back.
Right.
That was a touching little moment right there. Even though I would
And
have
at
liked
the
to see
end,
him
too.
come back.
So good.
Yeah.
So what? They have a moment of healing.
Oh
when
yeah,
they're
yeah.
together?
Marion's just like, "Indian, are you back, Indy?" And he's like, "Yeah." And something about pain, and he goes, "Well, where doesn't it hurt?"
Because
And
he
she's
says
like,
it hurts everywhere.
She's like, "Here." Remember from the old Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he's like
That
that.
scene.
Yeah, she's like, "Here," and he kisses it, and she's like, "Here," and he kisses it, and then they kiss, and then the others are going for ice cream, and the camera pans to Indy's hat on the window, and it's closing in, and he reaches in and grabs the
Gets
hat
the hat,
and
and
pulls it in, and that's the end of the movie.
It's cute.
And that's the end. I don't need to see any more Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, I don't need. I'm like, that's it. That's good. I'm glad he didn't die.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I
it.
mean?
Like they did a couple times,
Yeah.
right? Because even when he's climbing the cliff with his goddaughter,
He's like, I had to drink the blood of Kali. I was tortured by voodoo.
been shot 14 times. Your
Including
dad,
by your father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of that I thought.
Oh, it's good stuff. The train scene was good.
Yeah.
Besides it, like he wasn't. They talked a little bit in the beginning, but then it was mostly action.
Action.
And
Yeah.
then see.
And
that was
even
pretty good.
even old Indy, right? He's getting on the horse and he's driving through the city. They're having the parade. Because
Yeah,
the-
yeah,
because
yeah.
that was
With the
cool.
subway,
Yeah.
on the motorbike.
You know what else was cool? The CIA agent. She was cool.
So she got
Right?
smoked.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
again, a Nazi
Yeah.
killed her. You know,
Yeah.
like I thought that was pretty cool too. It's
Yeah.
like she was not
Nazis.
quite 100% sure that
Yeah.
these guys are
They,
Nazis.
remember they went underwater too. This movie had everything.
Yes.
They went underwater.
And they had eels.
They
so
had
there's
the
your
and the
snakes.
kid goes, they look like snakes.
Snakes.
He's like, what? No. And then he's down there trapped.
Yeah, and the snakes
and then
come
the
out.
eels
the
are
eels
like
come out.
coming
yeah.
at him. He's like, "Ah!" But she comes back and she saves him. Antonio Banderas is in the movie.
And he's great.
He's great. He has a small role, but he's great. I was always looking for him to like, when is he gonna be a bad guy and turn on Indy? But he doesn't. He ends up like not sacrificing himself, but he gets killed because, oh, you don't want to do this?
Yeah.
Bang.
Right.
And I was like, oh, they got him. But overall, the whole adventure thing, they do the whole plane flying with the dotted lines to the different things, which is some places like, how did you get on the plane with all that stuff, and then you just put the kid on the plane and you guys are flying? But I guess that's movie magic, right? Like you're skipping all that kind of stuff.
Kind of like in Kill Bill, she's sitting there with her sword.
Yeah. How did you get through the plane? But this is early. Well, no, this is 70s.
No.
No, it's not
60s.
70s. It's 60s.
Late 60s.
Yeah, it
Even
is
still,
like
you
69.
landed
Yeah,
right on the
69.
tarmac back then. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, you know, I mean, they did do weights and balances back then. Like, that still existed, you know?
Sala's in it. It has a sad story. Remember, he was like this big guy over there, but now he's like a cab driver in New York City.
In New York City with a big
And
family.
he's like family, but they're kind of like not. He's not big, and he wants that adventure. Remember? He's
Well,
like,
that's what he said.
He
One
brings
last
Indy to the
adventure.
airport, and he's like, "I brought my passport."
Yeah.
He's like,
No.
"No, man, we're not doing this." But that was great. I enjoyed it.
So what would you give it as a, if we had to give it a numeric?
I give it a 7.5.
I give it a 9.5.
Now, where would you put it at the other, than like your rating for Indiana Jones?
I just saw it, so I can't. But
Okay.
I like, I mean, you know, again, everybody has issues with Temple of Doom and Short Round and all that.
Yeah,
but that was the most
I would
fun
say it's
one,
fourth
right?
on the list.
So,
But
fourth on the list.
after the main three,
After
then I
the
would
main
put
three.
this
I
one,
would put
and
it
then I would
fourth.
put
I
Crystal
also
Skull.
think it's like a 7
But
to 8. Yeah.
I was thinking about Crystal Skull, and this movie makes Crystal Skull look better. In my rewatch in my mind, I'm like, Crystal Skull wasn't that bad.
I mean, there's a lot of fun things
Yeah.
in Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
And my issue wasn't with the aliens. It was just like, I don't know, some of it was... No, my problem with Crystal Skull was Shia LaBeouf. Because
Really?
his character
I loved his character.
was... Well, I mean, he's like, he gets hit in the balls when they're fighting the...
Some of the stuff was wanky, like him
and
swinging,
swinging
on the
in
vines.
the trees. It didn't
It was a little
look
much.
good. You
It's
know?
just that that movie was made 20 years after,
It doesn't matter.
and like the magic is kind of
Jurassic
gone.
Park
You know what I mean?
was...
Like if it would have came out 4 years after, 3 years after, 5 years after.
See, and rewatching
like
it
Crusade.
recently, I felt better about Crystal Skull. I do like Shia LaBeouf a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, I like what's going on here. They could have given him his own movie.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, too. At the
He
end of
would-
the movie,
oh,
he takes his hat back,
I thought
right?
he would have been a great.
I kind of think
New
that
Indiana
this
Jones.
movie
That's fine.
wouldn't have
I'm
been
fine with
as
that. I
good
just- I felt
had
the
we not had
parts
a
that they
Crystal
gave him,
Skull, though,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
they got their feet wet once again with Crystal Skull. Like,
Yeah.
all right, this is what worked, this is what didn't work. So this
Yeah.
one, I think, is
It's too
better.
bad because there's great the sword fighting and the shit. Like there's
Yeah,
a
that was
lot of
good.
good stuff for Shia LaBeouf, and you're rooting for him,
That was good stuff.
which is very nice. It's Glickman.
And that's it. It's Glickman. We're out of here. See you later.
The world has been through chaos.